Joe, I think we talked to you a bunch this offseason about just making the plays that were there. So were you happy with the effort on that?
Definitely. To get the 3 takeaways was big. Great plays by those individual players, and we still left 2 out there, being greedy, but it was good to see that for sure.
How much does the rush that y'all were able to generate go kind of hand in hand with what you saw?
It's always rush and coverage. We try to do our part just in terms of executing our job, staying tight in coverage, buying time for those guys to get home, and that worked out, for us that last game.
Hey, Joe, you guys had a lot of confidence in Alante going to the slot. How would you say he held up?
He did a nice job. There's always some things, you can get better at, but I think overall he did a nice job. We looked at the tape, easy corrections to make, but he has the type of ability that I like in there. He has size, he's quick, he's aggressive, he likes to tackle, so he'll keep getting better every week.
What was just your overall assessment of the defense in that first game?
It was good. Obviously there's some mistakes that were made. There was 3 plays where guys were wide open, and that can't happen, so we dodged a few bullets there. But overall, I thought the guys did a good job communicating, executing the game plan, and again, I think we're going to continue to get better.
What are some of the challenges that Bryce Young?
You can see he's a smart quarterback. He's very patient in the pocket. You see he's an accurate thrower when he gets time. He has good movement skills. He creates a lot, if it's not there. So we're going to have to do a good job staying in coverage. But, he's young, so he's still learning, but you can see the talent's there.
Were you able to identify, you mentioned the 3 runners, were you able to identify any common threads and, what those breakdowns?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You don't want to share those?
No.
Yeah.
It's just lack of communication. Part of they're doing things offensively. We have to adjust our coverages, so we have to be clean with what we're doing, and we weren't on a few plays.
Gotcha. And I know I saw Alante at least get tangled up coming out of the wash from the slot at least once. Is that something that's difficult to learn when you come from the outside to the inside of just how to navigate space?
It's a feel, and it takes reps. I can go there and drill it all I want, but until you get out there, it's live bullets. You're feeling that pressure, the speed of the game. And that's why I know in time he'll continue to get better just based off what I saw the first game.
When going against somebody like Bryce, I know obviously you have a game and in the preseason, but do you also go back to college tape, or how do you prepare for facing him?
Yeah, I don't go the whole way back to college just because it's different, just in terms of the team he played on, what they were asking him to do. So you really try to watch as much tape as you can on what he's done, with his current team with Carolina. So just spend a lot of time studying him, and like I said, he's impressive. You can tell he's going to be a really good quarterback.
How much of a challenge is it to game prep for a quarterback with so little tape and such a new offensive system?
It's tough, but you have to rely on the execution of your coverage, guys executing their techniques. And early on in the season, you're going to have to make game day adjustments or sideline adjustments. So that's going to be part of it. They're going to they had some game plan stuff for the first game, so they're probably going to have a few things for us.
What are some of the things, if you were to define Demario Davis, his greatness, what are some of the things that come to mind?
Leader. He's a leader vocally, and he's a leader by example. He's out there doing it all the time. It makes me feel like I got to raise my level, and I feel like I'm trying to get after it, and I got to do better. But he is a great leader. He's a great pro.
And just what are some of the things, he's obviously getting later into his career, but he's still highly effective. What does he do that allows him to be that?
He puts the time in. He puts the time in to prepare himself mentally in terms of film study. He puts the time in to prepare himself physically by what he does. And when he gets on the field, he expects other players to play at his level. He is constantly talking, and it helps the younger players. When you see a veteran guy doing the things he's doing, help them raise their level of play.
What are some of the challenges that come with kind of wanting to get pressure on a guy like Bryce Young, but also not wanting to give up run lanes and those types of things? How do you game plan for that or adjust for that?
Honestly, it's going to happen. He's going to get loose. There's obviously things we're going to do with the pass rush, coverage, things we can do in coverage, bringing pressure. But at some point in the game, he's going to break free. So you have to coach both sides of it. Right? Hey, guys, we're going to do things, but hey, he's going to get loose, so we're going to have to do a great job staying in coverage. I got to say, you got to cover him twice. He's a guy you got to cover him twice because he's going to break contain bounds.
Obviously, Carolina, they had another good rushing performance in their week 1 game. How do you game plan for that? What are the differences between how they run the ball and how Tennessee did?
It's very similar. I mean, you watch a lot of games, you see similar runs, similar formations. So I think there's going to be carryover from our first game to the second game. But the backs, they have a good 1-2 punch in terms of what they do. They're also good guys out of the backfield in terms of catching passes. So a little different running style, but very similar in terms of the run game.
Coach, just a word about Peyton Turner. I mean, how does the defensive line rotations change with, losing him?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we drafted Foskey. So it's his opportunity to step up. Man, there's no red shirt in the NFL. Brought Kyle Phillips up, got him on the active roster. So guys are going to have to step up. I thought he was doing really good. Thought he was maturing and getting better as a player. So hate to lose him, but it's the next man up mentality.
You just talk about really quick, Isaac Adam, Ugo Amadi, they came in spot duty and really stepped up. And what did you see?
I love that. So story about Ike, DJ Chark. I was at the Senior Bowl and had this one kid from a small school. He was covering Chark, and Chark was chewing him up. We went to the sideline. I was actually coaching with Emrod. We were together. And I was like, man, we got to do something. So we was over there in the sideline. I was like, man, who's going to cover this guy? Ike said, I got him. That's why we drafted him. True story. That's why we drafted him, because of his competitive nature. And that's what I love about Ike. You look out on the practice field. I mean, he's going 100 miles an hour. He treats every rep like it's a game rep, and that's what carried on to the field. I put him out the first rep. He knocked the ball down and got an interception, but that's his mindset. And, I love the guy. Same thing with Ugo. Very smart. I'm on the sideline. He's not getting very many reps in practice. But I put him in the game, second play. He should have got a pick. It was an OPI, right? Well, I think it was an OPI. But those are the type of guys. Those are the type of guys you like to coach.
What were your first impressions getting to see Brian Brzee with those live shots in the regular season game?
He's very talented young man. I know he dealt with some injuries throughout his history, but I think the sky's the limit for him. I mean, with the size, the speed, the athleticism, I mean, he's a three-down player. He's effective in the run game. He has some rush ability. Like, he's quick, more than you think. And I think, again, he's going to have an outstanding future.
You put kind of additional stock in where he is and his development, not just in the things that he's doing that show up on the stat sheet, but it looked like a moment to where maybe he cleared a pass rush or a lane for Demario Davis to come in. Like, how important are those moments?
Yeah, it's part of it. I mean, sometimes you have to be the sacrificial lamb in terms of what we're doing with our pass rush games, with our pressures. But he's a guy that can do it. And that's why you're so excited about him. And like you said, he's going to continue to grow and continue to get better. He has a great mindset. He's great to be around. Again, he's growing every day, getting a little bit more mature.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question?
You
Since
got
I
it.
just
Come on.
jumped in late and I'm going to
Come on.
wreck everything
I'm
here.
in the shade, so I'm good.
No, I'm not to be that person.
Come on.
I know you asked already.
Yeah.
But just about Bryce Young, just overall thoughts on him. I'm sure you saw him, even if you didn't study him, you watched Bama a little bit.
Yeah, no, I studied him. Very talented. I know everybody talks about his size, but you can see he's a very good pocket passer in terms of going through his progression. You see the patience. That's what first thing that I saw is that he's very patient in the pocket going through his progressions. The thing that makes it hard is that if things break down, he has the ability to beat you with his feet and create plays. He keeps his eyes down the field. I mean, he has the arm talent, the accuracy to make all the throws. And I said he's new in that system there, and he's going to continue to get better. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I have one more question too.
Yeah.
They talk about continuity in coaching staffs. DA went from defensive coordinator to head coach, but then he had coordinators here last year. Now you're here, but the players say it feels the same. The results seem the same. Is that because you have a veteran group, or why do you think that is?
Yeah, this is a player's game. I mean, to be a good team, you got to have good players, and I think we do a good job with our whole organization in terms of putting them in position to get better, whether it's physically, athletically. And then DA's been here; he knows the lay of the land, and I'm familiar with DA just from my time with him in Oakland. I was excited for the opportunity to come down here. I think it's a well run in terms of what he does with the whole team, with the defense. I mean, there's a lot on his plate, man. And I was sitting there today like, man, I don't know how this dude does this, but he never misses a beat, man. He's just steady all the time.
Thank you. Sorry.
Nah. Shoot.
Who invited him?
Huh? Anytime.
Thanks, Jeff.
Is it?
We're all set.
Peace. I'll see you guys.